After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 448. Today is Saturday, April 3rd, 2021, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Today we want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we're glad you found us, and we hope that you will find something that you like and that you will return. If you are returning, we're always glad to have you back with us. If you are in the shadows, either new or returning, we hope that you would like to maybe subscribe to the channel here by pressing the little subscription button on your right and hitting the little bell so you can get notifications. And if you'd like to be able to take part in all the alongs and all the other kind of fun that we have, you need to go to the home group, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. That's just so, you know, when you ask to be let in, we'll let you in, just to make sure you're not a bot. Okay.
Right.
All right. I wanted to make you guys see my shirt, but I guess I'll show you during the...
Well, yeah, because you always have your notes right in the way. If you lowered your notes, they would be able to see. And let's move your hair. There we go.
And I'll show that again during the stash enhancements. But that was a gift. Okay. Moving on.
Then it goes on to tea, and you actually have...
Oh, I have 9, so I go first.
Yes, I'm kind of excited about that.
In my Memento Mori mug, and this is the last time you'll probably see this until November, because this is the last day of Lent for us, is my Plum Deluxe buttery shortbread herbal tea, because I had a very chocolatey 70-calorie bar, so I wanted something to kind of offset the chocolate. This is buttery shortbread herbal tea from Plum Deluxe.
How does that offset the chocolate?
It does.
It's sweet.
Yes, but it's not the same sweet. This is honeybush tea, cocoa peel, blackberry leaves, flavor essence, love, gratitude, no caffeine. I probably should have had caffeine. Okay. Hand blended fresh with Plum Deluxe, with hearts. plumdeluxe.com. This was before, I guess, they got permission again to put their love, gratitude, and...
Yeah, because the past couple times I picked one up, it still had love and gratitude.
Yeah, mine too.
Now, I don't know if those were packaged beforehand and they just didn't
maybe. I like that. That's a big part, because it is...
Although we had a newer one, the St. Patrick one, that had it.
And I'll have to check and see if something that's coming up in Stash Enhancements has that.
Right.
Okay.
And my tea. So
your tea now.
First of all, I don't remember if I showed this last time, this particular Sweet Amsterdam. It's Sweet Amsterdam stroopwafel, and it's speculoos spice. Mom and I have decided it kind of tastes like pumpkin pie. And then in my Memento Mori mug, I have... Plum Deluxe tea, toasted nut brulee, oolong tea. A rich, nourishing cuppa to support you. Black tea, oolong tea, Rubio's tea, apple pieces, cocoa nibs, cornflowers, calendula, vanilla, hazelnut, chestnut, almond, walnut essences. Love and gratitude has caffeine. So, this one's actually fairly mild considering.
Did you decide not to do you always have your table that way?
Always.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I had to have my legs in front of me, so I can't have it in front of me.
Show you how observant I don't look at her when we do the podcast.
Yeah, I do it every single podcast. I'm really I think it's hilarious. That
I look at her, but not, there.
There's a point for your observational skills. Poirot would be very disappointed.
Oh, Poirot can get over himself.
But at least he wouldn't be obnoxious about it the way Holmes is.
Yeah. Holmes is capable of being a gentleman when he wants to be.
He is, but he also... I don't know how many times he's implied or outright told Watson he's dense, or that young detective that
Lestrade?
No. There's a young detective that comes in later.
Oh, there's one detective that he's not in Scotland Yard proper. He's somewhere else that he kind of admires.
Well, there's this young guy. He is Scotland Yard. He he's got a rising career. I can't remember his name, though. I just listened to one with him in it. And he kind of is a student of Holmes.
Okay, moving on. Let's go past that. For the Ready, Set, Go. Okay, we're going to go right, because Taya's having a little bit, we had our COVID shots a couple days ago, and she's still reacting a little, so we're going to kind of move along.
We're blaming that because that's it. My body throws fits about everything, so that's a new thing in the system, and there's no weather coming in, so it's probably the shot.
Right. So we're just going to kind of move a little bit faster than normal, if we can.
Although sitting seems to be okay.
Well, that's good.
Walking is the problem.
The Ready, Set, Go Cal Loud 2021, as you probably noticed, has been locked, and I did pull for prizes, so I was going to go ahead and do that first. Pull the prizes out here. The first winner I pulled is I Know Who You Are. Okay, I Know Who You Are, and she won this really cute little bag. This was donated by Fiber Hermit, who's Margaret, and this is by Whimsy Stitches.
It's for those of us who are a bit showboaty and want to show everyone everything that we have in our bag.
Well, or just so we can see the pretty yarns. It is a box bottom.
Like I said, showboaty.
And it's got, the fabric is really durable. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that would, you could take this to a fiber festival and, like, put it down on the
wet.
ground and not worry about it.
It feels almost like waxed cotton or something.
Yeah, I think that would be really good for fiber festivals.
And it does pull closed.
Not to mention fiber festivals are the places that you want people to see what's in your bag, even if you don't have it out.
It's a drawstring bag. I just don't want to pull it closed because I want it to be pristine when you get it. It's a very nice bag. So I Know Who You Are. Let me know. Send me an email with your name, your address, and the fact that you won the clear bag for Ready, Set, Go. Okay? And it's by Whimsy Stitches. The other winner of the Karen Simply Soft skeins of yarn, these two skeins right here, they go really well together. It's really soft. This is Renna. Renna, I know I have your
I
information.
thought that was a yarn.
What?
You said that was Renna. I thought that was a yarn.
Renna, this is Simply Soft Caron yarn. You are the winner. I know I have your information, but send it to me anyway, so I know you saw it. You won the Caron Simply Soft 2 skeins of yarn, a light green and a darker green, and I will get it out to you, okay? And I'm ignoring her.
I noticed that. I thought that was very rude of you.
I thought it was very rude of you to say that. Okay, now, before I go through the rules for the Christmas all year long, because it's still going on, I'll do the prizes for that as well. For the Cassie Nicole hat that was donated very generously by Looney Hiker, that is a colorwork hat, and the winner of that was Sylvie. So Sylvie, congratulations. You have won the pattern. It's a colorwork hat by Looney Hiker. It's really pretty. You contact her with your information. Contact Looney Hiker. I expect that you can do it through PHN. I think she's still on Ravelry. I'm not sure.
I don't know if she's still on Ravelry.
Anyway, we'll see. Contact her with, yes, she must be on Ravelry because she said with the Ravelry ID or email, and she'll send it to them. Okay, so contact Looney Hiker, that's Pat, for your winning, your hat, okay? I can't speak. Sylvie, you won the Cassie Nicole hat. Contact
Looney Hiker.
Yeah, don't contact Renna. Contact Looney Hiker.
Yeah, Renna could just be like, congratulations! Yay!
So Sylvie,
contact Pat.
And Sylvie, guess what? No shipping for this one. Yay! Yes, Sylvie and I have been having conversation with shipping, scratching our head about it. The top yarn, this yarn here.
Is it top or taupe?
Taupe. This yarn here, it's a cotton yarn. It's actually very soft. It's cloud worn. And it's 2 full skeins. Okay, just one is DK weight. And this goes to Wombat of Doom. So Patty, contact me, okay? I know I have your information. I cannot send it out to you until you tell me what you won, because I'm going to be a brat like that, okay? So Patty, contact me. Tell me you won the taupe yarn, the cloud worn, 2 skeins for the Christmas all year long, okay? So congratulations to this round's winners. I think all of you guys are winners, but for the ones who got the prizes, please contact me. with your name and all your pertinent information and what you won. Oh, except for the one who won the Cassie Nicole hat. That one goes to Looney Hiker.
That one, Looney Hikers, who you
Yes.
contact.
My hair is a mess. Okay, moving on. The Christmas Along does run all year. I went and I pulled from posts 2 through 270, I think it was, for the prizes. So I think it will start with prize 2. Yeah, it starts with post 271 for the next quarter. Okay, now the Christmas all year long runs, as I said, from January through December of this year. So when you hit January 1st of 2022, it's done. All right. Projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. Previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures will all be in the same thread. 1 whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's completed. Any FOs in Franciscan Gypsies Designs, Lady Frinico Creations yarn or my shawl pattern, or Lollipop Girls yarns or Laura Concert's designs will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize. The hashtag is hashtag PHN Christmas All Year 2021 on Instagram. If an FO uses 50 yards or less, please post with another FO of 50 yards or more, okay? Operation Christmas Child or any projects going toward Christmas donations is eligible for 2 chances at a prize. And projects that are made predominantly in Christmas colors of shades of red, blue, green, silver, gold, purple, pink, along with white, or will be eligible for 2 chances at a prize as long as they're being gifted, okay? And that includes charities like the Pregnancy Center and Kimmy Kim, VT Kimmy Kim, I think it is, her Amelia Project, Comforting Crafts, that kind of thing. That's 2 chances at a prize for the FO. If you use a featured yarn with a featured pattern, that's 3 chances at FO, and you are responsible for your multiple postings, but you guys are really good for that already. Okay? Autism Awareness has begun, okay? 2021 has begun, and we are really super excited to see all the, I think it started activity already, some of the people. I haven't been there. For those of you, a little sidebar, who have commented either on the Autism Awareness or in my private messages, I know I have to answer Sylvie and I have to respond to, I think, Jodadiah. It's during Holy Week, I was not online very much. So I saw your things, but I didn't have the time allotment to respond. Okay, so I will get to you as soon as I can. I have seen them. I'm not ignoring you. Okay. Having said that, I'm not going to go too much into what autism is at this point. We do this every year. You guys pretty much know. But I want to get rolling with this in deference to Talia and push.
Okay.
All right, well, autism, okay. This is the It's Okay to Be Different Cal is what we call Autism Awareness, okay? And we are promoting awareness of autism and other autistic spectrum disorders such as Asperger's syndrome because, Davina has Asperger's along with other disabilities.
Although now Asperger's is basically called autism because it's not in the DSM whatever.
I know, I don't agree with that.
I think it must be DSM-5 or I don't
whatever it is. I don't agree with that. I think that's detrimental to lump someone with Asperger's just in autism, in general.
It's too wide.
It's too wide. It's too broad. That's why it's a spectrum. Okay. This is a complex developmental disability that typically appears during the first 3 years of life and affects a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. Okay, it is defined by a certain set of behaviors and is a spectrum disorder that affects individuals differently and to varying degrees. There's no known single cause of autism, but increased awareness and funding can help families today. April is Autism Awareness Month, but we run this for 3 months to allow you guys to do
more,
as many projects as you can, have many chances as you can at a prize.
And I want to make a side note. It mentions developmental, but not everyone with Asperger's is developmentally delayed. There are plenty of people who have Asperger's who are able to work and function pretty well on their own. It's just that social situations are difficult because social cues are hard for them to pick up.
Yeah.
So Davina has developmental delays on top of that.
Among other things.
Yes.
So, let's see. This will be running from April 1st to June 30th, I believe is the last day of June. And the projects can be started at any time, but must be finished no, they can be started and or finished between April 1st and June 30th to be eligible for a prize. WIFs and FOs are in the same thread. You know, I got off track because we started doing something I decided not to do.
Oh, okay.
My fault. You know what it is. What, one WIP per project per week. FO is the same. Everything is the same as normal. The tag is PHNAA 2021 on Instagram. We are co-hosting this with Laura, who is crocheting Hoovian. We're very glad that she felt that she wanted to do this again with us. She's been doing this with us almost from the beginning.
I think she started on the second or third.
Second or third, yeah. She's been with us forever for this, and it would not be the same without her.
Because there was a couple where Emily was our only.
Yeah. Well, we had times where we had 2 or 3 people doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, the projects must be knitted, crocheted, or loom knitted and be bright colored. Okay, so predominantly bright colors. I usually say about 80 to 85% bright colored. Neutrals and non-bright should be kept to a minimum. Let's see. Dull or somber colors will be moved, okay, by one of the moderators or Ty or myself into the show-off thread, okay? Just so we have, when I do the the pulling for prizes, I don't get confused. The prizes are yet to be determined, but they will be determined soon, and we will have prizes. Let's see here. The featured patterns and featured yarns are the same, with the addition of 10 hours or less. That's George, his braided bright pattern, which he did for us, I think, the first year of Autism Awareness. He did it for our along. He developed it for us.
It was very early on.
So we always have that as a featured pattern. So that one also will be two chances for a prize for the FO.
He's still on Ravelry as far as I know, and he has his own website. Usually, honestly, I prefer to go through his own website because he always has sales.
Yes, and he always is. I haven't received an email lately from him with. I have to see if I'm still receiving emails.
Yeah, I wonder if he got buried.
He might have.
Because he used to send them semi-frequently.
Yeah, he's fabulous. His stuff is amazing, and he's doing a lot now with. For a while, he was doing it with Craftsy and things like that. I don't know if he's still doing it with Craftsy now that they've changed order over or not, because they're not doing the kits. You know, they're not doing the physical component of their shop. They're just doing patterns and classes and things.
I mean, I guess there's less overhead when you don't do the physical and you just do the digital. It's you're just selling the same thing over and over again after you produce it. It's
Oh, the other one
the
other one that's besides my stuff, Taya's stuff, Laura's stuff, and the Braided Bright is the Autism Awareness Bare and Weighted Lap Pad. The lady used to be Miss World, but now she's known as A Modest Creation on Etsy, okay? And I think on Ravelry, but I'm not sure.
Yes, she is known as A Modest Creation on Ravelry as well.
Right. Now, I will be putting up brightly colored yarns, so my brightly colored yarns are eligible for 2 chances at a prize if you decide you want to do that. There's no pressure ever, okay? I am going to be putting up, I have, well, I'll talk about that in shop news. Okay. All right. For the Comfort Along, that's Wombat of Doom and B-Wing. That's Patty and Brittany. And I will read theirs only because it's their rules and their stuff, and it might be slightly different than ours.
Right. We're merely the platform that they are running their along off of.
This has been running since March 1st, and it goes through June 30th, 2021, so it's going to end the same time as our Autism Awareness. No previous WIPs will be allowed, so it had to be started March 1st or later. Items eligible for the Comfort Along can be knitted, crocheted, or loom knit. Specific items they're looking for: dishcloths, washcloths, and hats, especially hats for males. You know, male-colored hats. You know, like neutrals or gender neutral, so that males or females can wear them. Or for males, they keep that in mind. They need those.
So
more.
Probably need bigger size ones too.
Well, there's also boys.
True.
Boys and baby boys and stuff like that. I mean, they're not saying that they don't need...
Well, I'm just saying that make sure you also, you might want to consider making some big ones for guy heads.
Right. I understand. But I want to say, though, also, that doesn't mean you have to make boy colors.
No,
they'll accept women's and girls, too, but they need males, okay? It was suggested, fits the whole fam hat by Cozy Up Knits. So as a possibility for that, it has multiple sizes, I guess, and I think it has multiple sizes, or it fits the whole
I thought
family.
it actually, like, it
Stretches.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that works exactly. You can contact Patty or somebody at Cozy Up Knits or look at the pattern yourself. I don't know if I picked that up or not. I meant to. Chatter and pictures are all in the same thread. 1 whip per project per week, the FO whenever it's completed. If you are also in the Comforting Crafts Facebook group, please feel free to post your pictures there. Prizes will be randomly generated through our PHN Comfort Along thread. So on the thread, just like I normally do, I will make second and
Did you
third
say
checks.
Cozy Up Knits Facebook group, or did you mean the Comforting Crafts?
Didn't I say Comforting
I don't know what you actually said. That's why I'm questioning.
Comforting Crafts Facebook
Okay.
group? Yeah.
I got confused.
I might have said I might have said Cozy Up Knits on our page, but that's not what I meant. Comforting Crafts thread for that, where we're putting that, all their efforts for the group. We will be pulling from that, not from the Facebook group. We will be pulling from PHN. So I will touch base with Patty and or Brittany to see how many prizes we have on offer there, so I know how many people to pull for.
Yeah.
There may be a prize that Talia and or I and or Talia will be donated as well.
Donated.
But we haven't determined yet what that will be because it's been a little hectic here. So we'll figure that out. But right now they have 2 skeins of Dishy yarn, dishcloth pattern booklets, and handmade greeting cards by Brittany. And so that's pretty cool. And there may be more coming if Talia and I decide to donate something. Hashtag for Instagram will be hashtag PHN Comfort Along 2021, and you contact Brittany for the mailing address for the completed items, okay? We don't want her to have her address anywhere public, so you guys have to contact her, okay? Whew, I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I go first, but I need a drink first.
That's because I actually get to go second.
Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you. Oh, before I go, because I didn't work on this project, somebody had asked in the YouTube comment section if I decided not to work the eyes on the Ninja Turtle blanket, to please give her an idea of what it would look like, because right now I'm done with the project. It's sat in timeout all week. I know Allison wants me to do the eyes, so I'm considering it, but right now I'm not
She
dealing
informed
with it.
you were doing the eyes.
Yes, she did. And Allison is an Allison, and I give her hugs. But this is for the person, I can't remember who it was, who asked. This is the picture that is on the pattern, and that's what the eyes might look like. I can't see.
Right there.
So I will probably do the eyes differently. I was looking over the pattern, and I wasn't sure I liked the construction, so I might do it slightly differently if I do the eyes. But that's how it would look, okay? Sort of. I mean, depending on how you want to place the eyes. So I just want to make sure I did that because somebody asked, and if I waited until we got through, I'd forget.
Right.
In my Mama C Words, Words, Words bag, I love this bag. Thank you, Christina. She gave me, I have the Terra, the Sea Turtle pattern by Talia. I call it Lady Caprice after Cappy. And Cappy is from The Yarn and Us. And I'm starting to close this up. You can see that it looks like a hat. See the hat on my head?
That would be a very large hat.
It would be a kind of a large French kind of, what's it called?
Beret?
Beret. So this is Cappy's
Or a tam.
yarn. Yeah, this is Cappy's yarn. It's Lady Furnico yarn. And it matches my old ball band. And this is Villainous, which is Dragonfly Fibers. And this here is Tangerine Speedo by Marigold Jen. And this is, see how it works really well with the
really
orange
does.
in there. So this, I just wanted to work on her. I didn't do a whole lot. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I forgot to mark off rows. I love crochet because I know how to tink back with crochet. So I just tinked back and I looked at it and said, oh, that's where I am. And so I actually had been further, but I had to tink back a row and then restart. And then I had to tink back again because I didn't go back far enough.
Oh, okay.
And so I am one row further, or one round further. But I'm enjoying this. I always enjoy this pattern. The sea turtle is fun. Tara makes me happy. See, there she is. She makes me happy.
While you're playing with Tara, I forgot to grab something.
It's your turn.
Okay, well then I'll grab one next time it's your turn.
Yeah.
My turn's very fast. In my, I Actually, I'm not. This is Names My Bag. That's right. Because it came from her kit. This is my Names My Bag chickadee bag. Because Mom had given me a choice, because we were both getting one, if I wanted the cardinal or the chickadee. And I said very firmly the chickadee. And Mom was like the cardinal one anyway. Isn't he cute? Look at him.
If I don't feel like I can make up my mind, I make her make up the mind for me.
Yeah.
Why is the cat guarding the...
What are you... I love that, actually. Let's leave him there. One of the cats that Mom made for my design, I think that's Selena. She somehow fell off the couch and she's facing the doorway, so it looks like she's guarding it so no one comes and bothers us. It's kind of hilarious. When I go, this was just a design, so when I go to pick up the thing that I forgot to grab, I'll take a picture of her so I can show it maybe in the whoopsie, in the beginning of the podcast. I'm going to go around behind so I don't knock the mic.
What are you going to get? Because I don't have a whole lot to do.
I just have to grab the a thing. It's really quick. I know exactly where it's at.
Okay. Oops, Tara, come back here. Okay. Let me move on here. In my Mickey Mouse Ploverbird Mickey Mouse bag, is my Spoiled Bunny Stomp scarf from the Cerebel scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And I'm using an eye hook and Test Designer Yarns Superwash Merino Worsted. And I keep trying to find the colorway, but I honestly don't know what it is because it doesn't seem to be on here. It just says, I don't know, it doesn't, hand dyed in Maine, 570 yards, 8 ounces. Yeah, I don't really know what color this is. This is testdesigneryarns.com if you're interested in finding the yarn. I didn't realize it had a website. I guess that's what you learn when you actually read the label.
Shocking.
So I only made a little bit of progress on this. The last 2 days were kind of a wash because I was so tired. We had the vaccine on Thursday, and then Friday for us was a day of fast.
And you always get super tired when you fast.
Yeah, so I was tired. I couldn't focus.
She probably should be very careful about how much she does fast because we're thinking, the doctor told her at one point that she's borderline hypoglycemic.
Yeah. So that takes care of this. I love this pattern in case you didn't know. Just in case you didn't know.
Oh, is it the Cerebel?
Yes. Just in case you were, ambivalent or
on the fence,
uncertain about how I felt about this pattern.
Debating
because, I've been so vacillating about it and, wishy-washy about how much I like this pattern.
Unclear.
Your turn.
Okie doke. Well, this is another quick one. In my Silver Shed USA Peanuts Christmas bag is the Christmas stocking design.
Let me just... You went too fast. Let me just...
Well, I told you it was a design, so... There's only one more design after this, so then the rest I can actually waffle about a bit.
All right, my next one you haven't seen in a while. This is in my Knitter's Magic. I don't know why I said... Is it Knitting Magic? No, it's Knitter's Magic. Knitter's Magic Large Lavender Flowers on a Dark Field bag. And this is my... on the porch blanket from the 5410 Studios.
I think this tea needs a little milk.
Welcome Little One on the Porch blanket by 5410. Needs a little milk?
That's what I think. I think that would just like bring it over that little bit of a notch, especially almond milk.
Kind of like my caramel one.
Yeah, it was just like, it's okay, but it just feels like it needs a little dash of milk.
Right. So this is, can you guys, I don't know, I can't see myself. Can you see?
Yeah, they can
see. Pattern starting out?
Yeah, they can see.
Okay.
It looks like you go garter, then stockinette, then garter.
Yeah, it looks like it. Mm-hmm. So this is a really simple pattern. I could have had it done ages ago, and you can see here too, it's like this, and then you have this center section, and then you have another kind of border type thing. And it's really a nice pattern. I like the way 5410 writes their patterns. I've never finished one, but it's only because I don't like knitting blankets that much, and I get distracted.
Well, you haven't even finished some of my blankets.
I finished one of your blankets.
Yeah, I think you finished the first one.
Yeah. and I'm still working on another one.
Yeah, you're working on the one that you decided to do. You ambitiously decided to do a large size.
I'm working on 2 of your blankets.
I know you're working on fadeaway. Are you working on Melissa as well?
Yes.
No, you're not working on fadeaway. You're working on Melissa. You don't have fadeaway yet.
No, I'm working on Melissa and the one with the. I'll show you. Anyway,
If it's a released one, it doesn't matter.
yeah, but I can't remember the name. I'll have to wait. This bag, if you are in the Virginia area, it's from Knitter's Magic. She's in Winchester, Virginia, and she has lots of very nice bags that are locally made for us. So, okay.
Alrighty then.
Oh, there it goes.
In my ginormous bag that I think I got from Knit Picks an eon ago. Whoops, hold on. Let me bring some of this down.
This is starting to cool, but it absorbs some of the sugar, and it's really good.
That's good. There we go. So, ginormous bag. The kind of bag you take with you if you're going to travel and carry several projects in. This has a baby blanket design in it. So, not the one you're working on. And this bag, I mean, you could put it down in mud and it wouldn't matter. You could just wipe it off. It was,
Oilcloth.
It was one of my very early bags.
It's like oilcloth, sailcloth, or whatever that stuff is they call when they, use it on sailboats and
Oh, I don't know
slickers
what
and
that's
things
called.
like that. Let me just finish this stitch. Because if I do a couple of things on the podcast, I know that I at least have a couple of things to show you the next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see here. Let me put
And usually ends up being a couple syrup bells.
I don't have a couple cereals. I only have one.
Oh. Well, that's, that's a lack.
Because I finished the other one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. In my Silver Shed Davina's Owl bag is the other blanket that I'm working on for Talia's thing. You said the Melissa or whatever it was I was working on.
Yeah.
This one is the Pesty Westy from the migraine baby blanket.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, I have to measure this to see how much I want space-wise so I can do this again.
Oh, because you made a mistake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It's in the middle? No, it's not in the middle. Okay. I'm using Red Heart with Love in the Peacock. I don't usually use Red Heart. This one's not too bad on my hands. I had it handy and I thought I would use it because I like the color. But I don't really like to use Red Heart. It's just a personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
It's Red Heart soft, so it's not
As bad.
The regular, like Super Saver, hurts my hands a little bit. It rubs it raw.
Yeah, and also, I don't know, I kind of feel like, I don't like it as much for toys even.
Yeah, I don't use Red Heart anymore.
Yeah, because I used to use it for
Yeah.
my toys. Like, I think Barry might be Red Heart.
Yeah, a lot of the toys we started with were Red Heart, although we sort of switched to Knit Picks pretty quick. And I love this yarn for a while.
Okay, so, in my, let me bring up my show notes, because then it can guide me in things in a somewhat organized order, so I don't miss anything. It was easy enough with the designs, but, okay. There's my show notes. Okay. Okay, in my Silver Shed USA Bunnies bag for Tortoise vs. Hare, I think this was 2017?
Should say on the inside, yeah.
Yep, 2017.
Because sometimes Anne puts it on the inside. And that's Anne Brody from Silver Shed. She's amazing. We love her dearly.
This is, I call it my the Sunday Funnies house socks. They're for Mom, and it's the Dance All Night socks.
Yes.
And this is just a nice pair of socks because even if you're off on gauge, it doesn't matter because they stretch like crazy.
I like to wear those over my other socks.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're nice and warm for when your legs are a little bit cold. So that's the first one. The second one, I'm making progress. I'm sure I'm only about a couple inches away from the heel. Currently, I'm finding that I'm knitting my socks faster if I do magic loop or 2 circulars versus if I do DPNs. For whatever reason, right now, my hands just, I'm not knitting as quickly that way, and I feel like it goes faster.
Maybe your body gets tired quicker with having to balance 4 or 5 needles.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not, or maybe it's the fact that I feel like I need to tension it more and my hands tire from that. I don't know. Because I don't have as much problem with the Christmas stocking, but I also don't work the Christmas stocking for nearly the same amount of time. And I use those on DPNs.
Right.
But for whatever reason, knitting this way is actually making me want to work on them. So that's the way I'm knitting on them right now.
Yep. I'm going to have to set myself some goals for new skills. Magic loop might be one of them. If Ty ever gets the...
Yeah, whenever I feel like I can do it, I then have a bad day and I'm not able to do a video.
I can try Kay. I also learn well from Kay. Because Kay is very easy to understand. Kay is KF Jones from the Bakery Bears.
And she did a bunch of things like learning how to fix mistakes and things like that, which I think you could really...
I really love their Patreon and all the stuff they give, because I do go to her for... The only reason I do squares anymore, I never would do squares at all, is because Kay showed me a good way to do them. And she's not predominantly a crocheter. I am, but I could never find a way to do crochet where the squares would turn out all the same size and be, usable,
Right.
And Kay, the way she has this one square done is remarkable in that they all came out the same size, which I found very, gratifying, and because now I can use them. So I've even thought about doing a blanket. It's sitting there because I have to find out how she did it again. I have to find that tutorial again, because I put it aside for whatever reason for a little bit, and I forgot how she did it. But
you wanted to write it down anyway.
Yes, I did. My next project is in my Cloverbird pink and purple teacups bag, and this is my comfy cozy shawl project from the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Sittel. And I thank the people who really like this and the way it's turning out. I'm not sure how far I was when I showed you last. I'm kind of tangled up in everything here. Okay. Where am I? Oh, there's my... Okay. So I've started, again, this lighter teal kind of color. You can see on the end here. So I've started that color again. It's growing. This does grow pretty quickly, which is part of the fun of making it. And Anastasia, I hope that she's back to designing things and being a little more active in the knitting community and the crocheting community, because she has some very nice patterns. She was my first person I tested for, and she was very supportive also. She was another one. She was with George and with Lois from Knitting Something in My Bag, probably the first really supportive people we had.
Yeah.
For our podcast, when we were a baby podcast. And
although I know that Knitting Wolf putting a word out for the podcast, even when it's just me, was very helpful for getting the name out there.
Well, that was before I came.
Yeah.
So, Knitting Wolf did do a good deal for us as well. But those are the ones that didn't just put the word out; they did things. They donated prizes. They designed things that they
definitely did.
They were very, and I'm not trying to diminish.
Stating.
I'm just stating that. They were very helpful when we began. Okay, and I love Anastasia's patterns. I tried her squares. I would do her squares, and because of my wonky gauge, they would be like not what she said they were going to be size wise. That wasn't her fault. That was my fault. But it was just really funny. It didn't matter because I wasn't sending her the squares or anything. I was just doing them to test. But anyway, that's this.
Okay, so let's see what's next on my list. So next is, just scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss anything at the top. Good. It is my Lake of Shining Waters, which is the Anne sweater from Green Gables Knits by Joanna Johnson. I kind of feel like a Joanna Johnson creep because I have like quite a few of her patterns on my needles right now. And shockingly, none of them are Diana's hat, which anyone who's followed us for any period of time knows that I knit so many Diana's hats.
I think part of that is because Davina's decided she wants a Davina hat.
Right, Davina likes the Davina hat because I made it to her specifications. Also, I've slowed down on knitting hats a little bit. Once I started designing, I had to, or started designing more consistently to the point where that's most of what I'm doing. The hats kind of slowed down a little bit. Not to mention, I'm not going as many places where I need a simple project on hand. That used to be my purse knitting.
Right.
Wonder if I'm in the middle of a row. I thought I might be.
Are you?
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of a row, but you can still see that this has grown significantly. It's curling because it's stockinette and it's baby alpaca, so the mixture of the two. I'm getting close to being done where there's basically, very frequent shaping. There's always a little bit of shaping, I think, but I'm about headed into the actual... Well, I'm going to be looking at the armholes pretty soon. I think after the next couple increased sets, I'll be looking at the armholes. So, yay, I'm officially almost where I was... Think about where I was maybe when I had to stop the other one.
Oh, right, the red.
Oh, maybe I was already maybe I went farther. Maybe it was.
You were pretty far on that.
Yeah.
I think it was like, you could see that it was a sweater.
Yeah. Whereas this one, I can already tell it's a lot bigger than the other one was. It's hard to show right now but I think that it's already going to be,
Oh, is it top down?
Yeah, it's top down.
I forgot that.
So that's why we have as much shaping as we do right at the beginning. Yeah, because you can already see it's actually wrapping around, whereas I don't think the other one was able to do that.
Right.
And this is even without having the where you pick up the stitches and everything. So this is I actually got gauged this time because the other yarn I think might have been maybe a bit bigger than a DK. It might have been a thicker DK. I'm starting to find, also maybe my gauge was a little different, I don't know. Joanna and I tend to have a very similar gauge. Usually if I choose the same weight of yarn she does, I'll get gauged with her. But I still check for sweaters. But yes.
Don't want to give Allison any conniptions by having to pull out another sweater. Poor Allison is never going to live that down.
Although to be fair to her, I mean, ripping out a sweater that only had one sleeve left to finish.
Oh, she knows we're teasing her.
Yeah,
she's been with us long enough to know we're teasing her.
I probably would have freaked out if someone I watched had to rip out a sweater that I watched grow for like months.
Well, I remember my feeling when poor what's her name from Round the Twist?
Oh, when she burned her sweater.
Oh, she burned her sweater. I was like, oh my gosh, and I didn't even see the sweater. I just heard about it. I was like.
Right, you're just like, oh
no, because she was going to wear it to a fiber festival.
Right, she wanted to dry it more quickly after blocking it.
Did she put it in the oven?
She put it in the oven, but I guess she had heard of someone else who did it okay, but hers burned instead.
Yeah.
Which, it breaks your heart.
I was like, oh my gosh. Because that sounds like something I would do because I'm stupid. So,
Did you just call Karen stupid?
No, I just called myself stupid.
Sounds like you just called Karen stupid.
Well, she's in good company then. Karen is wonderful. She's really talented.
Yes, she is.
Very, very talented. I haven't heard or seen anything from her because I'm kind of limiting on my podcast. And she, for a while, she stopped podcasting because she had twins.
Yeah.
Adorable little kids. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she was one busy lady between both of them being nurses and...
Oh, no, he was like pharmacy or lab or something. Respiratory. He was respiratory.
Okay.
Yes.
And she was a nurse, so they were, on different shifts and all kinds of stuff. I'm surprised that she, I guess that was before they were married, though. She's still a nurse and he's still... No, I said that was before she was married that she burned the sweater.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well before.
Because I remember
She hadn't even met him yet.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We got to watch on her podcast her meeting him, her dating him,
the cake,
her getting engaged, her wedding. Like, it was like
I remember
everything.
the cake because they put like little zombies or something on it.
Yeah. Everyone sent them like these little zombies. Like, it was really kind of cool because you got to watch like the whole process of everything.
She's a pip, boy. She is very, very talented, and I maybe someday I'll be able to go back and watch her podcast because
I always found her very relaxing.
She's very low key and stuff like that. I don't know if she's still podcasting though.
You know, I haven't kept track of a lot of the podcasts. I bet she is, but if she is, well, you know what? If she's still working in a hospital setting, she might be super busy with COVID and stuff, depending on how hard her area is hit.
Yeah, that's true.
It might not be a top priority for her to podcast, so I don't know if she's still podcasting.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, I think their husband, respiratory, it hits respiratory, so he's probably super busy too.
Right.
They're probably both pretty exhausted.
I hope they're okay.
Yeah.
I hope they're okay because they're both exposed.
Yeah.
And we know at least one person who works in that area or works in the hospital who's had COVID, and it's just not good. So thankfully that person's okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We had a family member who was works in a nursing home who got COVID.
Yeah.
But again, she was okay too.
Now, are we... my turn or yours?
It's your turn.
Did I just do this?
Because we went off on the Anne sweater.
Oh, you were okay.
Because then we started talking about Allison. It's all Allison's fault.
Blame Allison for everything because she can take the
Absolutely.
hit. She can take the hit.
She ordered you to make the eyes, so you know.
Those eyes are watching you, Allison.
Always feel like somebody's watching you. You have no privacy. Oh.
Okay. In my Kikiboo Owls bag, I didn't do a whole lot on this. In fact, I don't really remember working on this, but I must have. Looks like I'm ready to take this little loop that's here off and just, because it's tangling up. You have to anchor this other piece of yarn, and I think it's ready to pull through because it's...
Oh, you anchor it until you have enough?
Well, you anchor it until you have a place where it's not going to come out.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I'll do that later. Yeah, it's right here. See, it can't go down far enough because it's pulling here.
Okay.
So anyway, this is what I've got so far. I guess I might have done a round or two, but I really don't remember working on it. This is...
I've had projects like that where it's like, I must have, because my show notes say
Yeah, this is Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton and sea spray stripes. And I've used this before for hats on multiple occasions. It's a fun yarn to work with for the baby hats. And it's relatively soft, and it's hard wearing. It can be washed, so I don't have to worry about the thing shrinking and not being able to fit on the baby's head. Okay, so your turn.
Okay, so next for me is in my Bat Signal bag by Silvershed USA, and this is the Puget Sound. It's the Fundamental Men's Pullover. I can't remember the designer's name. I should have written it down, but I didn't.
Not Jean Hagen. Jen Hagen. Jen Hagen?
It was something Hagen, though.
Yeah,
You're right.
Jen Hagen.
Uh-huh. She's a Hagen.
She's a Hagen.
Anyway.
That's a reference. It's not an insult. It's a reference. We're not making fun of her.
No. It's a reference.
It's a reference to a television show.
Yeah.
An old television show.
So Puget Sound Fundamental Men's Pullover. It's for Dad. I don't know actually if he's in his room or not. Last I looked, he wasn't. So.
Well, he's doing artwork now. So.
Okay, good. So Cascade 220 worsted in the colorway Puget Sound. Silvershed USA Bat Signal bag, like I said. So I'm like 3 inches away. No, I'm even less than that. I think I'm at 15.5 inches finally. So I had to go till 17 inches. And everyone knows that once you get close, then it's like miles to get to the
2
next
inches
inch.
takes like 50,000 years.
This is the back of it. Yeah, I have to face in the right direction. It's actually...
It's pretty much just stockinette, right?
Yeah, it is stockinette.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got the little broken rib down here at
Right.
the bottom. But it's supposed to be a fundamental pattern.
Right. No, I'm just saying that.
Yeah. It's actually got, because of the gauge the needle size I had to go up to get a gauge.
That's a nice weight.
It's a nice lightweight to go, because he's going to be wearing it over a shirt.
Mm-hmm. And he might wear it to work because I keep that office so cold.
Yeah, so he would never wear a cardigan, but he'll wear a pullover.
Mm-hmm.
And just a nice simple sweater. Honestly, this is my I can't think, I just want to knit kind of project, because it's just stockinette. I don't even have to worry about anything on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's not a whole lot of shaping because A, it's a guy's sweater, and then B, it's pieced, so it's going to be sewn together. So it's actually really perfect for those days where my eyes hurt.
Okay, I guess that means me.
It does mean you.
Oops.
It's a
It's
bunny.
a bunny.
Drink.
I was tickled pink by all the people who are joining us for the Oops is a Bunny game. Makes
Yes.
me happy.
Copyright Pinhook and Needles.
Yes, yes. I should be tickled blue, not pink, but anyway.
Why
Blue.
would you be tickled blue?
Because
Are you
like-
getting cyanotic?
I don't like pink.
But at least with pink, that's
I mean,
blood
I
flow.
like pink okay. I
But
just-
that's like pink is good. Pink means blood flow. Blue means you don't have enough oxygen, and you're cyanotic.
anyway,
The patient was cynical, and what was it? I can't remember the rest of the quote. You remember?
Mm-mm.
They were going to go on the heist for the hospital, and they had to memorize lines.
I don't remember. You have to tell me.
And oh my gosh,
You have to tell me later because I don't remember.
I'm just gonna go ahead. Firefly.
Oh, Firefly.
It was the episode where they're gonna go and get River's brain
Right,
scanned,
right.
and they had to
Stop and-
Mal
yeah.
and Jane and Zoe had to memorize cyanotic and cynical and something because Mal couldn't remember cyanotic. He kept saying that they were cynical, and then he had another word which he replaced, and I can't remember now because it's been a while since I watched it, but it was also hilarious.
Sounds like Mal.
Well, Zoe was the only one who she'd had trouble remembering things, but she at least didn't make it as silly. And Jane couldn't remember his lines ever.
Oh, Jane's just Jane. Jane is, yeah. Anyway, is it my turn or yours?
Let me think. Oh, I just did the sweater.
Okay, that's right.
The Puget Sound.
This will be switched out as soon as I find a proper bag to switch it to. This is the bag end wrap from the Burrow Wrap pattern by K.F. Jones.
Oh, someone's trying to send a fax there.
Oh,
That's where it's coming from.
huh. What is
It's probably honestly an
telephone?
ad.
It's probably a telephone or something.
It didn't ring before when the telephone. Honestly, it was a lot less loud than our actual telephone.
Yeah. We have a little. My husband set up something where we changed the phone from phone to fax.
Mm-hmm.
And since we seem to have a lot of phone calls during the podcast, we put it on fax when we do the podcast so people can't interrupt us and we don't get those phone
And
calls.
honestly, that fax noise is a lot softer. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. We can actually talk over it. Plus, we don't get the message.
Yes. So this is the bag end wrap from the Burrow Wrap pattern by K.F. Jones. I'm using Dragonfly Fibers Traveler and Kelpie, as well as some stash yarn that might be Miss Babs. The needle size is US 7, and Chow Goo Red Light Circular Needles. And I started this in January. And I'm not in any hurry with it. I'm in the middle of the row with this, but I've got a little ways to go. I'm a little more than halfway for this section. And then I'll switch colors and probably pattern as well. So it's moving along nicely. This is, I guess, the front. I have a little owl here. I'll move that later. But yeah, so this is fun. This is one I like to do because even though the yarn is dark, I know what I have to do.
It's a nice, simple pattern.
It's a simple pattern. At least at the moment, I don't have to really worry except for the end.
right.
And so I can just do it whenever. So I like
It is
Kate,
nice to have those kind of projects.
case patterns.
Well, Kate really does get when people want because she likes nice, restful, simple patterns. So that's what she likes to design. Okay, so and a lot of I've noticed their socks they have a rhythm to it. So you want to keep knitting because it has a rhythm, which is nice. Okay, so this one, all right, this one requires speaking about. So in my Mama C tutor bag, thank you, Christina, is my test knit that I'm doing for another designer. It's Yarn Love Yarn.
She did say you could show it. I think.
Well, because she told people you could show it. She told people to post on Instagram. I assume I can show it on my podcast.
Right.
Because Instagram is pretty public for most people.
Yeah.
So, this is the test knit Beatrix Bunny socks. People who have watched my Instagram know that I made a grave error, and I think I mentioned it last podcast. But I made the first one too small because I didn't deign to make a gauge swatch. Now because they needed a gauge swatch which had had a stockinette section in it, I couldn't just keep knitting the beginning of it and check gauge, because the beginning of it's ribbing, then you go right into the color work. You don't really have a section of stockinette to measure, and I needed that. So this is my multiple sized gauge swatch. It is in the round, so that way I could do the Fair Isle as well. And I measured until I got the size that I needed. And as you can see, my Fair Isle really sucks in. I ended up she was using a US 0 and a US 1, and the small US 1 at that, because there's 2 different US 1s for knitting needles. But I had to go up to a US 2 and a US 3, because apparently I'm a much tighter knitter than she is. So since doing that, it does fit. I tried it on before the podcast. I am past the heel. I am doing the gusset decreases. I love this purple heel with it looks all springy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. It's so much fun. And actually, because my bunnies are bigger, because it's a proper size sock, I like it a lot better because my bunnies actually show. Whereas this other one, when they showed, it was just because everything was so small. I felt like it didn't show enough. Now I'm very happy with it.
With big fat carrots.
And yes, my carrots almost look like pumpkins.
No, but they are elongated. They look like carrots. They look like the fat carrots you sometimes get.
So, and it's all like scrap yarns. Well, except for the blue. The blue is Miss Babs. And actually the brown is, I don't know where the brown came from. It's like a brown, black, gray kind of skein. So the bunnies have some variegation to them. And honestly, Miss Babs is blue. The electric turquoise, I believe is what it's called. Mm-hmm. Also has some variegation. But like the purple, I know that's a mini skein someone gave me. The pink is also a mini skein someone gave me. So is the orange. The green is one of Kay's sparkly green mini skein. It's a sparkly green mini skein. And I also have for later on, it's like a reddy pinky sparkly one of hers that I'm going to be using for the
radishes?
Radishes, thank you. Because the red I originally had, when I was knitting it into this swatch, I was noticing it was almost felting a little bit. I'm like, I don't want, that yarn was supposed to be down by my toes. And I was like, that's not a good spot. So I changed out the yarn. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I've never knit a pair of colorwork socks.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for letting me know. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the kind of heel. I'm used to having the, and she said you could change out the heel if you wanted to, but I wasn't going to do it for the test.
No.
Now, it does fit fine. I haven't actually worn this heel. This is, she has here, this is one of the wrap and turns. So it's a short row heel. That's a fairly common, I'm not giving anything away that's a common heel type. I've usually done, I'm not sure what it's called, where it's usually has a ribbing in it, or if it doesn't have a ribbing in it, it's actually a rather short heel. It's like a rather thin heel flap, and then you kind of work it to a point, and then you pick up your stitches and everything. I'm not even sure what it's called. Maybe just a normal gusset and heel. I don't know.
Have you ever tried Megan's heel? I forget what it was called now. That she did.
I'm not sure which one she did.
Yeah.
I've done Afterthought, and actually surprisingly, I do wear those socks occasionally. That was my first pair of socks, because they're little shorty ones, and they're really lightweight. They're one of my few fingering weight socks. So when my feet are really hot, I'll wear hers, or the ones that it was a laminate crochet. I don't think it was. It might have been a laminate crochet pattern. If it wasn't a laminate crochet pattern, I can't remember.
What is these two socks?
She did a tutorial on how to cut the
right.
Afterthought heel, and I used her tutorial on how to cut that Afterthought heel, because I remember squeaking when I did it, because it was the first time I cut into anything. Okay. Usually when I do Afterthought heels now, I just sort of, like when I do my Christmas stockings, I just lay the yarn, I hold the stitches instead of cutting it, and then
that makes sense. That would be a lot more.
It's like when you do
a sleeve
or something. Yeah.
I don't know why you want to cut it. Why don't you just do that?
But yeah.
I guess it's practice for steeking, but I don't know.
Well, it actually really is practice for steeking. But yeah. Your turn.
Okay. Let me find my little marker here.
I guess the difference is for hers, you would have, because I remember doing this, putting the yarn in there to mark the spot, but I think she just had you weave it in there, whereas I actually, when I do it, I knit with the waist yarn, and then I knit on top of that with the other, so it's a little different than when you do it for sleeves. Because when you do it for sleeves, usually you're binding off some, and then you're casting on some.
Right. Okay, let me put this aside for a minute. I'm starting to get a little warm. Oops.
It's a bunny.
It's a bunny. My tea is almost gone.
Mine's not.
Let's see here. All right, put that in here. Okay.
Yeah, I really thought the heel would be too big because it looks so much bigger than what I'm used to, but it's perfect in size. I think because I normally work with some sort of ripping in my socks.
Okay, in my Knitting's My Bag, Monet, it's actually Sarah bag, is my Stormy Weather sweater from the Fundamental Woman's Pullover pattern by Jen Hagen. Okay, I did a little bit on this, and the only reason I'm going so slowly is because I do have to concentrate on the rib because it's not a strict rib on every row. So
It's a little bit of a broken one.
yeah, so I haven't made I think I'm almost halfway finished, a little past halfway. Let me see.
Because not a big rib.
No, it's not. It's not hard.
I feel like you should be close to done, Mom.
I have 3 more after I finish this section up. Because I'm coming on the way back. I have 3 more, a total of 6 rows.
I was gonna say you shouldn't be that far because
and then
it looks
should be
close to done.
Then it should be smooth sailing for a while.
because then it's knitting.
So this is I didn't. This will become a mindless knit for a while, but right now you can even see a little bit the ribbing there, and the colorway is a slate colorway. This is Miss Babs.
It'd be nice for you to have a sweater in that.
Yeah, and it's. I can't tell what the weight's going to be because it feels fairly lightweight. I got gauge on this with 7s. She gives you a range for it. She says like 6 to 8, and I said, well, I'll try 7. And so 7s worked. I got gauge, and I was able to just go ahead and start.
Well, again shows what a tight knitter I am because I had to go like a couple above what she suggested. So I guess I am a fairly
Okay.
I guess I am a fairly tight knitter.
Even with the range? Okay.
I guess I'm just a fairly tight knitter.
Well, I got gauge
which means that Joanna Johnson's probably a fairly tight knitter.
Well, I got gauge on this, but I also got gauge on the Ann sweater. So, I don't know. Which is a novel experience for me.
But you only got on the Ann and you didn't get on the other one.
No, but still a novel experience. I never get gauge on anything. So being able to get gauge on 2 things in a row was kind of nice.
Yeah. Now, granted, like I said, the other lady gives you a range. It's not just like.
Well, no, but I took the one in the center.
Yes, you did.
It's just
that was great.
The fact remains, I got gauge.
Yes, you did. So it's my turn.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
There's my notes.
All right. So.
Don't denigrate me getting
Oh
gauge.
no, I wasn't actually. I was just stating it's a little different than when you get gauge for the Joanna Johnson because it was just one needle size. But yes, you should be proud of yourself. In my Knitter's Magic Brown Soft Happy Bag is okay. So I don't need to start another project, but I did because what happened was this is Joanna Johnson's fault.
Everything is Joanna Johnson's fault.
And yes, I know I have a platypus that's like staring at me with no eyes from
No bill.
my bedroom. But because I had to work on the test, a lot of things have gone to the side because of the test. You're going to be like, but I see a lot of projects going. Part of that is because there are periods of time where I needed to hear back from the designer for something. And also, I was too tired to work on anything that required too much effort other than the sock. Actually, a couple times I made a mistake on the sock and had to pull back because I was tired and made a mistake. So, this came from Emma Knits, which Joanna Johnson released as an ebook on Etsy and on Ravelry. She let me know this week that she just put it up on Etsy where it wasn't before. It is not as yet a physical book. It right now is only available as an ebook. But I went through and I looked up the one I wanted to work, and I am doing the Walking to Town pattern, which is a shawl pattern. So, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see really that well. It's kind of dark, but it's a nice shawl that the way that it ruffles around the elbow, it almost gives the impression of a nice sleeve. And it's a reference to the fact that Emma's always walking to town. Actually, one of the big things about her getting Harriet as a friend was after Miss Taylor was no longer Miss Taylor, she got married. She lost her daily walking partner for doing her charity stuff, where she'd take food in, drop it off at the he's not a priest, he's a
Parson.
They didn't call him a parson, but he's he's a clergyman. That's usually what they would say, a clergyman. They wouldn't give you more definite than that. So drop it off at the clergyman's. I know they had a different term. I can't remember. Anyway, drop it off there. Drop off food there for the poor. She would go and visit the last Jane's aunts, where they lived in town. They were her aunts, and I guess it would have been her great aunt. Where they lived in town. So Emma needed someone to walk with in order for it to be safe for her. Because actually at one point when Harriet's walking, she gets attacked. So it shows it's a little bit dangerous for any of the girls to walk by themselves. Although she wasn't by herself, her friend kind of took the girl she was walking with took to her heels and left Harriet. So Emma probably would not have left Harriet, but this other girl did.
Emma would probably bop them on the head.
Oh, Emma could take anyone, I think. Or at least would think that she could take anyone, and find out much to her dismay that she couldn't.
I think she has a powerful pair of lungs.
I think so too. I think that if she found she couldn't take someone, everyone would know it and would come running. Yeah. Whereas Harriet's a little bit too quiet sometimes. Anyway, so this shawl is Walking to Town, and I know the actual shawl's in here somewhere. Hold on, where is it? It's like I see everything else, but it must have fallen in the pocket. There we go. So I actually just worked it all from one day, and this is from a pair of needles. I don't know what they are.
Those are Nurse Pride, aren't they?
No, they are not. Nurse Pride has a nicer cord.
Yeah, they're not.
This is something with a horrible cord that I happen to have. Actually, here, this is, sorry, boy. Boy, you have awful cords.
Boy.
But this is what I had in the needle size I needed, and I didn't feel like buying more needles, so this is what this is being knit with. And I got gauge.
Oh, you tried gauge for that?
Mm-hmm. Only because I had so little yarn.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
Like, I'm really close.
Right.
But this allows me to use everything left that I had left in Dragonfly Fiber in the airport hot sauce. So then I have something is definitely this, in this yarn. It's a bit of a bigger shawl. Because the all red shawl that I have is a smaller one. It's that Miss Babs Yowza shawl. Mm-hmm. This one's a bit bigger and has more arm coverage. So it'll be nice to have a red shawl that has more arm coverage. And it's also a slightly different red than the Miss Babs one. This is more of that fire red. I mean, it really nails that hot sauce color. It has a little bit of an orange undertone to it. So yeah, really enjoying this. Yeah, I need to knit on this more, to be quite honest with you.
Very pretty.
But makes it... Let's see, I have 2 Joanna Johnson sweaters on the needles, 1 Joanna Johnson shawl, and 1 Joanna Johnson toy.
Okay, let me just finish this for a second.
And that is my last.
Okay, let me see what I have here. I think I have one more. I should have one more.
Sure.
Maybe? I do. Hold on. There. Okay, this is a small one. This is my peach scrubby from the round dish scrubby pattern by Midwestern Moms. And if you were watching us last week, you know that I decided not to use the scrubby yarn because I don't care for it. I know some people can do really well for it, but for some reason I can't see the stitches. Mm-hmm. So that yarn has gone into the prize bin if somebody likes it. Or if somebody really wants it, I'll send it to them.
Right.
But I started this one last night. And I just started it so I'd have something going. I haven't
Gotten very
gotten
far.
very far on it. So it looks like a little flower or something. So that's it. And I'm calling it peach. I'm not really sure what color this is. Maybe a taupe. But that's that. So that's what I'm working on that for the scrubby. Not much to see. This is a USA, Silver Shade USA bag. Okay. So that takes care of that. Do you have any FOs?
I do not.
Okay, I have 2 of them. But they're small. Again, I take out this bag. So you know what that is. Last week you saw the purple one. I think you saw this one last week. Let's see. Yes. You saw this one last week. So that's done. And I still haven't woven in the ends. This was the one I was working on as a work in progress last week. And this one I finished as well. You know, it doesn't take very long to finish these. So that's that. And then you saw the one I'm working on. So these will go somewhere. They'll be nice little washcloths. I mean, they're not scrubbies, but they can be dishcloths.
Mm-hmm.
And I might add on a row, maybe, to make them a little bigger, but I haven't decided yet. And these are soft enough that you could use them for face cloths if you wanted to.
Right.
To wash your face. Or body cloths. So that's that one. That's my FOs. Okay.
Any graphic novel?
No.
Okay, so I have some beads and string. We had talked about the his and hers, or the husband wife rosaries. I still need to clip off cord that needs to be, excess cord in order for it to be sent. This is an order Davina had for a friend's wedding, which is May 1st. So this is the husband's one. This is hematite beads with this nice, centerpiece with the 2 rings.
Very nice.
And then just a nice classic crucifix. So the hematite with the black cord. And then the hers, the wife one. It just makes a nice wedding gift.
She was so excited to be able to do that.
I was so excited she did. That was a nice, nice little bit of money in my account. Also, I've been wanting to make these. And then, so it's the normal stainless steel beads with a white cord for the hers. And everything else is the same with the crucifix and the centerpiece. And I'm very picky about my materials, so I don't tend to have a whole ton of colored things because I don't want the paint coming off unless I'm really sure it's going to stay on. I tend to have on very simple colors because I want to keep my quality high. So that's all for beads and string.
Okay, I think that brings us to stash enhancements.
Yes, I think you're right.
All right, let me just put this aside. So I'm not going to probably work on this anymore for now. Okay. All right. Change this bag out. Find something else to put in it because I don't have enough projects going. All right. Now, stash enhancements. Okay. How many do you have?
I just have this box. This is both of us.
Okay. I have a couple of things. Let me just... Actually, one of them we share. Sorry, guys. I have to pick this stuff up. Okay. Do you want to do the one that we don't share first?
Yeah, let's go do non-sharing
Okay.
first.
I have 2 that we don't share, actually.
Yeah, do them.
I've got a purple package, and those of you who've been with us for a while know that's Plum Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered their Easter Basket Blend Herbal Tea. And this is, I can't read this.
Okay, so it is green rubios, ginger. Oh, good, Mom, ginger.
Yep.
Lemongrass, orange peel, mango pieces, apricot pieces, passion fruit, plus mango essence, calendula. No caffeine.
Yeah, I don't think they had room to put love and gratitude. This one is a limited offer for Easter, and so I picked it up. I will have it probably in the afternoon tomorrow because I have my chai tea in the morning.
Right.
So that's this one. Then I have citrus mint green tea, and this looks like grass. It looks like the grass that goes in the Easter basket. It really does. And this one does have love and gratitude, but you're gonna have to read it.
Okay, so this is citrus mint green tea. Sit in the stillness and feel refreshed. Chinese green tea, lemongrass, spearmint, orange peel, lemon essence, love and gratitude has caffeine.
And I think that's a new one. And this one is Champs-Élysées herbal tea.
And I have some of this coming in.
And that's a new one as well.
All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Wait, that's a quote. That is from Lord of the Rings. That's Gandalf.
Yes.
Wow, you just stole from Gandalf, Andy. That is awesome.
Borrowed from him. According to you and my brother, it's called borrowing. And yes, that is a reference.
So Rubio's tea, hibiscus, dried cherries, rose hips, apple pieces, cherry, almond, plus vanilla essences. Love, gratitude, no caffeine.
Doesn't that sound good?
It sounds amazing. I have some coming in too. And I love it even more now that I know it has a Gandalf quote on it.
The quote on the mint one is...
Oh, I read it.
Oh, you did?
I've read the quote for all of them.
Okay. So, this is really good. I have... 2 of these are new. Are all 3 of them new?
Yeah,
Is this one new as well?
Yeah, that
Okay.
one's new as well because that was one of those. We saw that you like this. You'll probably like this new one we have.
Yes. He's really very bad.
Yes, he is. And normally I'm able to resist, or I'm able just to get rid of the email before I see it and get tempted.
Yeah.
But this time I didn't because it really did match things I like.
Yep. I should not look at them. And
I think you fall a lot more than I do in that area.
no, what happened was I wasn't going to get anything as much as I wanted to, but then I had an email that offered free shipping. So I said, okay, that's good. I'm getting tea. You can have this one.
Slowly unwind herbal tea. Oh, I don't think I have this one. Honeybush tea, linden flower, elderberries. How much think of that's elderberry has to do with elderberry? Elderberry wine.
And elderberry wine.
Yeah. Okay.
Or was it cordial?
Raspberry cordial. Elderberry wine is arsenic and old lace.
Yes, arsenic and old lace.
Apple pieces, strawberries, blueberries, raspberry leaves, rose petals, strawberry/blueberry essence, no caffeine. And no arsenic either. No, they didn't say that. Although I would assume he did not throw arsenic in his tea.
It appears that Ty didn't bring hers. But we got this.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Because
Oops, it's a bunny.
our Bible study... Oh, the tea is gone. Our Bible study for Lent...
You remembered.
Our Bible study for Lent runs out tomorrow.
Yes, it does.
So we got a new book. Now, we have one that we're doing right now that has
This
to
will
be
go
finished.
after the one.
This will come afterward, but it's about the Mass.
And it also has a video that goes with it.
Yes. So
it's a reading book and then a workbook, which is nice because then there's study questions and that kind of thing. And it's talking about the biblical, how it relates to the Bible and where you can find certain things in the Mass, in the Bible, and that kind of thing. So
and this is, I'm looking at this. This is one that we're gonna have to do on Sunday, every Sunday.
Okay,
and
because it's a lot.
It's
I mean,
pretty
I'm
intensive.
assuming that we could probably read a little bit more than that because the book is thicker. And I think the video will also be on Sunday because there's only like 5 videos.
Well, I think the whole thing. I think this is gonna be my Sunday thing.
Yeah,
Because I try to do my more intensive. I do something every day, but I try to do the more intensive thing on Sunday.
That makes sense.
And so this one is very intensive, and I think it's going to be on Sunday.
I think it's going to be very enjoyable. He does a good job.
He does. This is Edward Tree, and for those of you who are Catholic, Edward Tree is one of the people we really like from Ascension Presents, or Ascension Press, or whatever.
Ascension Presents.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Ascension Presents is technically their podcast series or whatever.
Ascension Press is, yeah. Okay, you want to show yours?
Yes, so this is actually ours. Hang on, let me get my knife.
Knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Coleman. I won this from... we got points for doing stuff at my last hospital job. And under the advisement of a guy coworker, he's like, oh, it's Coleman knife. It's a Coleman multi-tool. That's a good tool. I'm like, well, I need a new knife. I need a new multi-tool. So... under his advisement, I got this, and it really is a good multi-tool.
And Daddy said that was a good
Yeah, so I was really happy when Dad said that too. So, this knife, I do have to be careful. It can really cut. With no difficulty whatsoever. I've cut yarn with it if I don't have scissors nearby. Okay, let me just close the knife so no one gets hurt.
I keep thinking, Knigget from Monty Python.
Yep.
My husband cleans it up so I can listen to it.
I think that was probably from the Holy Grail one.
Yeah, it was. I think it was.
Okay, so this is from Simpson and Vale because Mom really liked that Acadia one from last time. So here's Mom's Acadia.
Acadia. Pretty can.
It is a pretty can. And I needed a refill of Jane Austen blend. Huh. I guess that is the size that goes in the can. It just looks so much bigger.
You can smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it through there.
You can. This is sealed, and we can smell this. Wow.
And then this is... I took this as a chance to pick up Beatrix Potter's Organic Herbal Tisani Tea.
I'm going to try that.
And this is... After an adventure with Peter Rabbit, relax with a cup of this naturally flavored strawberry herbal tea. Herbal blend, excuse me. The fruit flavor adds a delightful sweetness that is sure to appeal to children, while the natural and organic blend keeps parents happy. And it says that it is organic green rubios, organic rose hips, natural flavor, organic chamomile, organic spearmint, and organic lemongrass. And actually, they say 1 teaspoon tea for 6 ounces. So we have, what, 14 ounces there? We probably should do heaping teaspoons when we do our 2 teaspoons.
Right.
Because otherwise we'll be a little weak.
Yep.
But yes, I'm really looking forward to this one. This must be drunk in a bunny mug, and I'll drink it on Easter. Probably won't be my first one of the day because I'm trying to have a caffeinated tea.
And the shirt I showed you.
And this is a 5-minute one.
The shirt that I showed you at the beginning of the podcast was an early gift from my husband. This is a stash enhancement. See? I really like that.
Oh, Mom. We always wondered how we know whether or not it's caffeine free. They actually have in big letters at the top caffeine free.
Oh,
so all the ones we've had in the past have had caffeine.
Okay.
It's usually on overbrewing instructions.
Yes,
See? And this is as well here 1 teaspoon for 6 ounces. So do heaping teaspoons for
Simpson
this.
Vale, yeah.
I always tend to do heaping teaspoons, but it's good to know. Yes. So I look forward to this. Let me see if you put anything else in here. Sometimes they'll
Sometimes
put
a little sample,
but it doesn't look like we get a sample this time.
That must be your invoice.
That is my invoice. Yes.
You have received how many points?
25 points.
Excellent.
I have 41. I forget how many points that it equals free shipping. I think it's like 60 or something. And then we always get a magazine with one of their catalogs, which is always bad news.
Yes, they're very nice.
Look at isn't that pretty?
It's a Dutchie. Dutch-ish.
Did you say Dutchie? I was thinking like Dutchie, like D-U-C-H-Y.
Yes, I had a feeling
and
you
I was
would.
like, it's not a Dutchie.
It reminds me of Holland. It's very pretty.
It is. It smells good too.
Yes,
because
well,
it's fitted with the tea. So I'm like,
look at the
this
pretty-
catalog smells good.
Look at the pretty mugs. Simpson and Vale mugs. Yeah, the pretty flower mug. Okay, we're not going to look at this.
Yes.
Maybe
we're not going to put it
Maybe
in.
when we do tea.
Yes. there we
Okay.
go. So yes, Mom got some more of her Acadia. Unfortunately, I see this kind of happen like every time we try a new one because you seem to tend to like their park blends. So I kind of see developing. Oh, you need a new park blend.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see about the next. We haven't picked out our next one yet.
Yeah.
Okay, now this was a package that was a kind of a surprise. I got contacted by Mama C, who is Christina, saying a box was coming. Had no idea what was in the box. None. Oh, yes, no idea what's in the box. So, she's so sweet, okay? There's something in here for you guys, and there's something in here for us, okay? This, she made for my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I think she made it. Maybe she... Let's see if it has her tag in it. I'm not sure if she made it, but I think she made it for my husband. For his art supplies. And he was very grateful for it. Thank you, Christina. This one she made for Davina to match her pot holder that she made her a few months back.
Yeah, something like that. I just realized that some of the dogs are...
They are.
Are they some of them upside down?
Yeah, they
Okay, I want to make sure that it wasn't my
They're meant to be.
imagination.
This one, can you guess who this is for? Can you see what that is? They're bunnies.
And it matches my pot holder things.
And
Thank
this
you.
one,
And actually, I might move my...
this one matches mine. My pot holder. Isn't this, because I don't have enough owls.
You don't.
And she said to me, I had written to her to let her know we got it, to thank her for it. She said, did you open the bag?
Yeah,
and
she
see-
has her tag in it.
to see what's in it. And I said, no, I haven't had a chance to answer. Christina, I haven't had a chance to answer in case you're watching this before I do answer you. I didn't open it because I didn't want to open it before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened it before we did the podcast just in case so I could see if I could show it. She had this little tissue paper thing in there. And she wrapped it so well I don't want to tear the tissue. She sent me this cute little owl progress keeper. Can you see it?
There you go.
I can't know if you can see it. Let me see something white. Can you see?
Hold on, Mom. You're like way off screen.
Can you see it?
Well, as soon as he stops shaking, they'll be able to see it. Yeah, I think they can see him.
It's adorable. It's the cutest little owl. So thank you very much, Christina, for the extra little special thing.
Thank you, Christina.
She's been very generous with us. I absolutely love my bag, and I know that Danina loves hers, and Ty loves hers, and Michael's very
I'm
pleased.
already moving my
Yes,
this shawl's a little bit small for the brown bag I have it in, so this is perfect.
my burrow wrap is going in here.
And honestly, this bag is probably close to the size of the bag I had the shawl in, but for some reason the other one I think the other one's just a little bit bigger.
Now this is
So
a
this is
prize.
better for
She
this
sent
project.
this for a prize. It's a kit for knit picks. It was meant for the shawl that she shows here. This is not, the pattern is not included. You can get it on Ravelry. You can of course use the yarn for whatever you want, but if you want, this is the pattern and it is available on Ravelry. The yarn is, let's see, 2, 4, 6 skeins of knit picks. 50% fine merino wool, 2% baby alpaca, 25% baby alpaca, and 25% mulberry silk. So this is a nice set. So this will be for a prize. It's a very nice prize.
It is.
So thank you very, very, very much,
Christina,
for Christina.
this fits this project a lot better. The other one, it was kind of swimming in the other bag.
I am going to see how well mine fits in my bag. This was so generous of
Thank
Christina.
you so much.
Thank you so much, Christina. Those are the stash enhancements for that. Do you have anything for shop?
Not really, because I haven't been able to do a lot in the way of designing work. I've done work on some designs, but with me doing the test has had to kind of take precedence, and then I have had a lot of fatigue. So,
Okay.
not a lot of shop news for me.
Well, I do have some news. I had a pre-order from one of our PHNers for 2 large skeins of the Lothlorien colorway. She asked me to dye this up for her. So this is what they look like.
They're really pretty.
They're very large. They are 440 yards of worsted. Okay, so that's that. And then I did, while I was at it, 'cause I had a little extra dye stock, I made in fingering sock 2 skeins of
So
this
super
Lothlorien.
pretty
So
yarn.
these will be going up in the shop. These 2 are already taken. These 2 are up for grabs. And then I had someone ask me if I could do the Impressionist colorway, so I'm going to try to do that on a large skein.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm off and running. I'm really excited that people want the skeins.
Well, and I'm glad you're starting into your dyeing again, because
Yeah.
for a little while you hadn't done any.
Yeah, so I am looking forward to doing this. If the dyes for skeins like this and Impressionist and things like that are going to be different, sometimes even within the same dye stock, because of the way they're dyed up. They are the same colorway, but they might be slightly different.
Right, because yarn will take things as it takes things.
And some of them, like the Impressionist, could be quite a bit different.
Yeah.
So, you might want to think about alternating skeins with that.
Right. Although because it's if Impressionist tends to be such a variegated kind of yarn, or if
Impressionist is not variegated.
but I mean, if there's a lot, something like Impressionist, you kind of expect that, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know, you aren't looking to change it because that's what you expected.
Well, the thing with the way it's dyed up is that sometimes you can have more predominance of one color than the other. I mean, obviously it works together, but
I don't like alternating skeins. I will do anything just about I've done alternating skeins. I'm just not fond of it. It feels like it's too much effort for too little benefit.
Well, it's not necessarily something you have to do, but
No, because I remember hearing about it when I was fairly new. I was like, oh, I'll do that, and I end up having like this line going up my thing where I alternate skeins because I stupidly alternate skeins in the same section every single time.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. What do you mean with the same section every time?
So every time I got to a certain part, I would alternate skeins. So like in the same exact area, like around the same stitch.
So you didn't just do like 2 rows and 2 rows, or 1 row, 1 row?
No, I did, but I chose it in the same area instead of choosing a different area of the sweater or the poncho to do it. So you could see the line of where I changed.
Right.
It actually kind of made a bump.
Right.
Maybe no one else can notice it, but I do, and it bothers me.
Look, Christina, it fits much better.
Good.
So now I don't have to worry about catching my yarn.
That's perfect.
Thank you so much, Christina.
And as you use up yarn, it'll fit even better.
And something else will go in here very soon. Okay? So that takes care of that. That takes care of shop news.
But yeah, the thing that happens with alternating skeins, you also have to watch it when you're picking up floats. You don't pick up floats on the same stitch every single time. You try to choose like the next stitch over, so that way you don't have this line of picking up your floats.
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I think that's it. Just keep an eye on the shop if you are looking for yarn. I do have a new base coming in. I think I told you last week I ordered some long skeins of sport weight. That's a true sport weight, and this is like 700 yards of a sport weight.
Nice.
And it's not a light sport, it's a true sport. I guess it's gonna be like an 8 or 10 ounce skein. And I'll be able to tell you more about that when I get it to see what it is. I haven't received notification that it's shipped yet, but Dharma hasn't called me yet to say that that they were out of stock or anything. So we'll see if that comes in. The base is the same as the worsted, so it should be a good yarn. And for those of you who like to work DK Sport, you won't most likely will only have to use the one skein.
Nice.
So that would be really nice. Just keep an eye on my shop for that kind of stuff if you are looking for that.
Yes.
Now, as for, and I did want to ask if you have specific colorways that you'd like to see for Autism Awareness yarns, let me know. And if I have the recipes, I can look to redoing them. So, that's, if I have interest, I will give you guys a discount code for it in the shop, in the PHN group.
Yeah, if there's enough people interested.
If there's enough people interested. All right. Now, do you have anything else you need to say?
We usually do books and stuff at this point.
Books and stuff. Okay. All right, books and stuff.
We already know you finished the shared story because I've had it about a week, but I haven't had it. I made it a conscious decision not to work on it during Holy Week.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't read it during the last few days either. At least since the Tritium started.
Yeah.
Now, I have still been reading Mother Teresa and the 8 Doors. I finished the 8 Doors of Beatitudes by Jacques Philippe, Father Philippe. I'm reading the Dragonback series by Timothy Zahn. I think I'm almost finished with book 4. It's hard to tell when it's in an omnibus.
Yeah.
We're almost finished with the Lenten Companion Year B. I'm still reading Jesus' Way, the Truth, and the Life, and A Woman for Our Times, which is about Mother Thecla, Venerable Mother Thecla. I didn't get a chance to read The Divine Office for Dodos. I'm waiting for something before I do that. I'm reading Abandonment to Divine Providence, and I think that's it, basically, for reading at the moment.
For me, I actually brought some of the books because I had some physical books. I'm like, I'll bring them with me. But first of all, I finished reading, and this was before Holy Week started. I probably finished it like either on Saturday last week or on Sunday. Was Dumb Witness by Agatha Christie. Then I actually need to. I keep notes in my little book here about what I think about books when I finish them. And what I need to do is take what I've written about books in here and add them on my Goodreads with my star ratings. I even rate them with star ratings a lot of times in here. So I keep notes on my projects in there, that kind of thing. It's a really nice little... I've really enjoyed having that. And I take my show... That's what I base my show notes off of. On Saturday... Either Friday night or Saturday, I go through that book. Usually Saturday morning, I go through that book and then update my show notes based on what's in the book. Okay, so I,
Excuse me.
read Some of Solace and Suffering, Wisdom from Thomas à Kempis, Imitation of Christ. And I'm almost done. I go by this slowly because they're short little chapters, but they're the kind of ones that you need to chew on and think about. And it's a shame to just read chapter after chapter.
Right.
You really have to think about this book. And it was one of those ones where you actually feel like you're doing a disservice if you rush through it. And I also forgot the two that we were talking about. The one that Mom and I are both doing, Jesus, the Way, Truth, and Life. And Lenten Companion, which one more day left. So this will go away.
Very good book.
Yes. And The Divine Office for Dodos. Just a little bit on this because, honestly, a lot of it's not particularly new information for me, but I know that I want to read through it all, so I'm just going a little slower. I also read on my Kindle Walking with Mary by Edward Sri. So we talked about Edward Sri for the other book. Peace in the Storm, Meditations for Chronic Pain and Illness by Maureen Pratt.
I forgot my stuff about for caregivers. Yeah.
Queens of the Crusades by Alison Weir. Probably only about 30% through. It was a 2-part series. I think there might also be a third one that she has in the works to make it a 3. I can't remember. The third one's probably has to do with War of the Roses, is my guess. So, I finished. What are you doing?
I'm checking out your placement.
Oh, okay. Because it was really confusing. Like she's pulling at my shawl and it's distracting me. So I just am almost done with The Wife of Richard Lionheart, which she kind of got always pushed to the side. Eleanor of Aquitaine always was above her in the pecking order. I don't think Richard ever took her into account for anything. Richard, honestly, I'm not terribly impressed with him, to be quite frank with you. John's worse, but Richard was not that great.
I keep thinking about the song from the Disney version.
Which one?
The one that they sing about Prince John, where he always says something about his underwear and he sucks his thumb.
I don't remember the song.
I can't. If I could remember it, I would sing it, but I can't remember it.
Usually, like the only song like sticks in my head is that beginning do 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 da 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 dee da 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 da. But that's like the only thing I remember.
I remember a lot of the
music. So, let's see. I also have been continuing to listen to Sherlock Holmes, the complete collection. It's a 3-part audiobook series. The first one was more the short series. I think the second one, they must take care, like one more ones that he did, they're more of a book length because they're 2-parters. The first part, and then I'll say, go to the end of the chapter, and it'll be like, oh, end of the chapter, and I'll be in the middle of the story, so I have to do the second chapter in order to finish the little stories. And I don't know what the third part of the collection will have in it. I'm not sure if what happened to Watson's wife by the time I get to the second collection, because like he's married and has his practice, and then suddenly he's back at Baker Street. No explanation what happened to Mary.
I know they referenced the fact that she died.
It's just like what happened to her, and like she was young. I mean, granted, they do reference the fact that he and Holmes are middle aged at that point, so maybe she was older at that point. But still, I mean, middle age isn't that old. I mean,
Back then.
Even back then. That's Victorian time.
Yeah, but still.
Like, what happened to Mary? Inquiring minds want to know.
Nosy minds want to know.
And there's just, like, no mention of his mourning. It's just like, and I'm back at Baker Street. Yay!
He's a very private individual.
Yes, so private. He writes everything down
About
and publishes.
Sherlock Holmes. Not about him. About Sherlock Holmes.
I don't consider him very private. I also have been reading James Alberioni, A Marvel of Our Times.
And I have that book as well.
Yeah, this is like a 1970-something book. I had to actually add it to Goodreads in order to put down my progress on it because it wasn't on Goodreads. This is it's in the first edition, I guess, when I was looking at the publishing information.
Mine probably is too, because it's the exact same book.
Yeah. Let's see. Been reading the autobiography of St. Teresa of Avila. And I picked up and have been reading Living Memento Mori, My Journey Through the Stations of the Cross by Emily and Ardo. And she has cystic fibrosis, which she knows is fatal. It's chronic / fatal. You live with it. Like, she got a diagnosis when she was like 11.
Wow.
And she knows that most people, like, she was told that she'd be lucky to live to her 30s kind of thing. So she knew, had an inquiring mind, she knew from 11 that this was a death sentence for her. So she was talking about living with this in mind and using it as a religious experience instead of as, something to bring her down.
How old is she now?
I haven't been able to find that out in the book so far. She hasn't told us. I'm not sure if medical science has progressed to the point where maybe they've been able to lengthen things a little bit for her. Or
that's a tough thing to tell an 11-year-old.
Well, they didn't give her that information as 11-year-old. She went and got the encyclopedia out and looked it up.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they didn't tell the kid, hey, and you're gonna most likely not make it to you'll be lucky making your 30s. She was like, I wonder about this, and pulled out her family encyclopedia. So she was one of those kind of kids. But yeah, so I've been reading that. So it's been very heavy on the religious reading.
That's Lent still. And we do tend to read a lot of that.
And we do tend to read a lot about that. So, okay, that's, haven't, like I said, not been really doing any writing.
We did get a book that my husband found free. It's called Father Tom Mysteries?
Yeah, it's Father Tom Mystery Series.
Father
It sounds
Tom
like
Mystery
he's supposed to be in the same realm of a Father Brown, or just a little bit more modern than Father Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So it was free.
We'll see if we like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Free is good.
Free is always good.
So.
Okay. All right, so I think that takes care of everything for that. We don't really have much in the way of life things. We talked about the fact that we went for our COVID shot, so we don't need to belabor that too much. We want to thank you for joining us for the Fun in the Woman Cave. Oh, I want to remind you that the live stream will be this Friday, because we didn't do it last Friday.
Yes.
So this Friday will be the live stream.
So that's for people who are Patreons.
Right, okay. We want to thank everybody who commented either on YouTube or on the PHN homepage. I think I answered everybody. When I left, I think I had answered everybody. So if I missed anybody, it's only because I didn't see you.
Yes.
All right. We want to thank all of you. Want to thank Steph, Kara, Looney Hiker, Chronically Crocheting, Brittany, Lori, Meditative Crafter, Allison, and Barbara for taking the time to comment. We always like to hear from you. And we were very happy that you were joining the drinking game with us. That was fun. Okay. So we hope you have a very, very blessed weekend and week. If you celebrate Easter, we wish you a very blessed Easter. And we hope to see you back here for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. And my clapper's over here. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 448. And that's a wrap.
Bye.